this I want to discuss few areas. यहाँ पे ज़्यादा content नहीं है, but few areas which we have to go through. ठीक है. One is आपका opportunities at GIFT City. IBU is the most important part. ठीक है. This IFSC banking units, like let's say as a bank, we have one branch in IFSC. That branch is generally known as आपका IBU, IFSC banking unit, and that is generally considered as आपका foreign branch. ठीक है. That is generally considered as a foreign branch for us. ठीक है. So IBU, the IFSC. ठीक है. I hope you guys know about this one. IFSC, it is a unified entity. It is a kind of a unified regulators. Earlier we have for the normal business, we have RBI for banking, insurance, IRDA, we have PFRDA for pension, or आपका SEBI for capital market. So to attract the foreign investment, what we generally did, we created one universal regulators in the name of IFSCA. We passed IFSCA Act 2019 आपका, ठीक है, 2019, yes, हाँ, ठीक है. So this is the kind of things, like if foreign investor they want to invest in Indian market, so we are providing all the guidelines at international level, so they can have some sort of ease while they are investing money or while they are like withdrawing their money and all. Okay? So they can have a good experience with Indian market, and they can invest for a long-term period. So for that sake, we have IFSCA. Only IFSCA in India is located in GIFT City, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Okay? And if we open any branch, we as a bank, let's say as a SBI or as a PNB, we can have only one IBU at one IFSC center. Okay? So we cannot have multiple branches in a single IFSC center, right? And we have to take prior approvals from IFSCA or licensing, and the approval from the home regulators. And we have so many guidelines around those particular that we want to discuss. Okay? So objective आपका creating a strong connection with the focusing on the requirements of Indian economy, serving as an international financial platform for the entire region or global economy to facilitate ease of doing business in the IFSC and offer a world-class regulatory environment. Okay? So these are the services like fundraising services for individual, corporate and governments, asset management and global portfolio diversification, wealth management services, global tax management. We have global and regional corporate treasury. We have risk management operations. We have merger and acquisition facilities, which are generally available at this particular platform. Opportunities आपका, ठीक है. This is the opportunity. If you'll open IFSC website, you'll see the same line in same sequence itself. Okay? So the ease one. Now overview आपका IFSCA business activities. So it include banking. All financial services are available here itself, but the services are only in foreign currencies. Okay? We have capital market services, insurance, emerging business segments, professional service providers, financial services like finance companies and all, asset management. So anything which is related to finance, you'll get at one place. That place is generally known as IFSCA. Now, IBUs. When it comes to the IBUs, so we generally provide as a bank branch. That branch is also considered as a foreign branch. So wholesale banking, capital market, retail banking, other आपका treasury management and आपका distribution of mutual funds and others to the foreign investors and all. ठीक है. So key enablers आपका competitive tax regime. I have put some areas here. Just a minute. This is the one. ठीक है. The parent bank is required to satisfy. So these are the facilities which we generally provide at services which we generally provide at the IFSCA or through our IBU centers. Now this is something which is very, very important one. Please pay your attention, guys. So maintain the parent bank required to satisfy following conditions while you are opening an IBU at IFSCA. Okay? So let's say as a SBI, if you are opening one branch at IFSCA, so as you have to maintain these particular guidelines. Any XYZ bank from some ABC country, if they are opening one branch at IFSCA, they have to follow these particular guidelines. Guidelines are maintain necessary regulatory capital subject to minimum of 20 million US dollar. Okay? So this is the first requirement at parent bank level. obtain no objection letter from home country regulators, like in case of SBI it is RBI, ठीक है. Letter of comfort from parent banks, letter of comfort from parent banks regarding liquidity and resources support to IBUs, ठीक है. So please do remember this. What they'll do, they'll trick you some ways, like they'll mention RBI here, they'll mention आपका parent banks here. So you have to be very careful around these. IBU are not required to maintain CRR and SLR, ठीक है. IBU are required to maintain LCR and net stable funding ratio at IBU level, ठीक है. So LCR and net stable funding ratio NSFR they have to maintain at IBU level. This can be managed at bank level also if they take prior approval from IFSC, ठीक है. That is generally part of this particular one. Leverage ratio for IBU may be maintained by the parent banks at the level specified by the home regulators, subject to regulation applicable to the parent banks. IBU are required to maintain, this portion is very important, as they do not have to maintain CRR, SLR, but they have to maintain one additional ratio that is generally known as retail deposit ratio, ठीक है. So retail deposit reserve ratio at 3% of the deposit rate from individual outstanding at the end of previous working day, ठीक है. ये ध्यान रखिएगा, अगर वो next working day लिख देगा तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. तो you have to remember this one. IBU are required to comply with the prudential directions and instructions issued by their home regulators unless otherwise it is specified by the IFSCA, ठीक है. So mostly आपका the guidelines and there are some guidelines from the IFSCA that you have to follow, ठीक है. IBU undertake transaction आपका what resident आपका deployments of funds, non-residents आपका entities other than individuals including HNI retail customers for raising of resources and deployments of fund. All transactions shall be in the currency other than INR. Please do remember. This I have told you earlier also कि IFSC के अंदर जितने भी transaction होते हैं, they all transaction are in foreign currency, ठीक है. For the day-to-day expenses, we have to do expenses in rupee. We maintain a separate accounts, ठीक है. IBU can deal with wholly owned subsidiaries and joint ventures of Indian companies registered abroad. IBUs cannot allow to open saving bank account. They are not opening saving bank accounts. They do not issue checkbook also. They can open foreign currency account of units operating in IFSC and a non-resident institutional investor to facilitate their investment transaction. They can open foreign currency accounts, individual escrow accounts of their corporate borrowers subject to adherence to the FEMA rules and all. Okay, so that these are the guidelines. No check facility will be available for the holder of accounts. All transactions are to be done through the bank transfers. IBU are permitted to undertake factoring and forfeiting export receivables. IBU shall obtain prior approval of RBI for offering derivative products. For offering derivative products. IBUs are allowed to open foreign currency escrow accounts of Indian resident entities for purpose of temporary subscription of GDR, ADR and other shares. Okay? So these are the areas. Permissible activities, RBU are allowed to underwriters or arranger of INR denominated overseas bonds. Exposure ceiling for IBU shall, this point is very, very important. So exposure ceiling for IBU shall be 5% of the parent bank tier 1 capital in case of single borrowers, 10% in case of a group borrowers. Okay? This is very, very important. Okay? They can give, let's say there is a company called X, they are approaching IBU for the loan. So if it is a single borrower, they can give maximum 5% of tier 1 capital of their parent banks. Okay? If it is a group borrowers, 10%. All AML and CFT instruction need to be followed. IBU will be regulated and supervised by RBI. No liquidity support will be available to IBUs from the RBI itself. They cannot take loan from RBI. That means, this portion is again very, very important. Relaxation for the FPI. So this become very center of attraction for this IBUs thing or for this entire IFSC thing. CAIIB has permitted FPI register in India to trade on exchange operating in GIFT City. दे डू नॉट हैव टू डू द सेपरेट रजिस्ट्रेशन इटसेल्फ, ठीक है। सो जो उनका रजिस्ट्रेशन उसी के साथ, और जो नए आएंगे वो डायरेक्टली वहीं रजिस्टर करेंगे। FPI are also allowed to trade in commodity derivatives on IFSC exchange. Companies do not have to pay security transaction tax आपका, ठीक है, or commodity transaction tax. So if you are as a FPI, you are investing in here, you do not have to pay CTT and STT. That is a very good things इनके लिए, and it is operated on 14 hours आपका, ठीक है। All exchanges operated 14 hours, 24 hours a day. FPI permitted operate additional documentations, ठीक है। Then waiver of short term capital gain, this is another आपका plus point, ठीक है। So which generally attract FPIs to the toward the IFSC, ठीक है। So waiver of short term capital gain, do not, like in normal market it is I guess 30%, ठीक है। So here they do not, हाँ it is 30% आपका। If you trade in this particular one, you do not have to pay that particular one. Allowing retail investor for the to build the liquidity and diversification as well, correct? So these are some guidelines toward the FPI. Very, very important. Please take it seriously. This get asked, or this can be asked, or this get asked in the earlier also. Opportunities, this we have discussed. Indian Bank आपका, this also we have discussed. ये जो आपका guidelines वाला areas है ना, please go through these one. I'll share this PDF just after the session, but please go through that those particular one. IFSCA, this is again very small unit but very important one. Every time you will see the question, mostly the question is around the आपका IBUs, ठीक है। So the previous question I can just show you, ठीक है। So तो आपका देखो फॉरेन एक्सचेंज डीलर एसोसिएशन ऑफ इंडिया गाइडलाइंस, ठीक है। Foreign currency related accounts, FCA, these we have practiced in our first session also, but these are the completely different question. ऐसा नहीं कि जो question हमने वहाँ पे किए थे वही हैं, different set of question from the different angles or as per the requirements of that examination, ठीक है। ADR, GDR, IDR also you'll get here. Please go through these one. आप लोग skip मत कीजिएगा, and but once you'll have one readings ना, you will be able to relate these particular things. Challenge नहीं आएंगे, ठीक है। चलो IFSCA, the important portion is आपका IBU. So most of the time you will see question around the IBU itself, ठीक है। So this portion is very, very important, and sometime relaxation to FPI, permissible activities, regulatory frameworks. So these are some areas which are the important part of this one. चलो बताओ क्या होगा correct answer guys? First question. So which of the following statement about IFSC? IFSC primarily serve as a customer within the domestic, no, it is basically first statement itself wrong आपका, ठीक है। IFSC it generally cater services to the foreigners most of the time आपका, ठीक है, उसी उन्हीं के लिए बनाया गया है। IFSC provide fund raising services for individual, corporate and governments, yes. Asset management and global portfolio diversification through pension funds and mutual funds are key activities. IFSC facilitate global tax management and cross-border tax liability. Thus, IFSC do not engage in it. Does this is wrong? आपका ठीक है, तो 234 means आपका option A will be right answer for this one. Services which are generally rendered by the IFSC. Next one. IFSC banking unit set up by Indian banks, and you have to find out the correct. This the most important area from this particular topic. Most of the time you'll see the question. Okay, answer करो इसको चलो. What will be your right answer, guys? What will be your right answer? What will be your right answer for this one? So tomorrow we'll be doing आपका concept summary for module C, 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Day after tomorrow we'll be doing आपका module B marathon, ठीक है। Module B your unit wise practice and all, ठीक है। And if I'll get time, I'll record some areas also, like that module D concept summary I'll provide you recording, and then the unit wise practice will do live only, right? क्या होगा correct answer? Yes, everybody is saying A. Only one IBU can be set up by each eligible Indian bank in each IFSC. ठीक है? Without any doubt, it is 100% true. ठीक है? IBU are exempted from maintaining CRR, SLR. आपका IBU can open saving account. No. A fund raised by IBU must come only from resident in India. No. Deposit maintained in IBU are not insured by the Deposit Insurance Credit Guarantee Corporation. So 1 to 5. बिल्कुल सही, 100% true. Next one. Which of the following statement about IFSC A and regulatory framework for IBUs are correct? चलो बताओ क्या होगा आंसर गाइस. अगेन एक्सपोजर लिमिट और आपका रिटेल डिपॉजिट रेशियो ऑफ 3% और 20 मिलियन यूएस डॉलर्स आपका कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट्स, एक्सपोजर लिमिट 5% एंड 10% ऑफ टीयर 1 कैपिटल ऑफ द पेरेंट बैंक्स. ये कुछ एरियाज हैं दैट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. ठीक है, वहाँ ये आपको बहुत बार पूछे आते हैं. ठीक है, so IFSCA was established as a unified regulator to replace RBI, PFRDA, IRDA, regulating IFSC business. So basically it is not about that replacement, it is about the replacement here आपका. ठीक है, so that means it is a unified regulators which include the guidelines of these particular one. This statement is true. Indian and foreign bank must obtain license from IFSCA to set up international banking unit. IBUs are required to maintain both statutory liquidity. This statement is wrong. The parent bank must maintain a minimum regulatory capital 20 million US dollar. IBU must maintain daily retail deposit ratio of 3%. True. Okay. So 1 to 4 5. 1 to 4 5 means option B will be right answer for this particular one. Correct? Next one. Which of the following statement regarding operation of international banking unit? International banking, it is not international banking unit, it is IFSC banking unit. IFSC banking unit. ठीक है, IBU is stand for IFSC banking unit. And what we have to find out correct statement. ठीक है, so IBUs are permitted to open saving accounts. This is wrong. अभी हमने बात किया. IBU must conduct all transactions strictly in currencies other than INR except for the administrative expenses. True. IBU can act as underwriter or arranger of INR denominated overseas bond issued by Indian companies. Indian companies. This is yes. IBU are allowed to operate Indian domestic money and they are strictly prohibited from this area. IBU may open foreign currency account and escrow accounts for the resident individuals too. Okay, so 235 means option D will be right answer for this particular one. Okay? Option D will be right answer for this particular one. Correct? Hai? I'll upload on application, ma'am. Okay? Vaishali ma'am, you are on application now. I guess you have asked so many questions on Telegram also. Okay? I'll share on Telegram as well as on application. Okay? No worries. चलो करेक्ट है. नेक्स्ट वन गाइस, नेक्स्ट वन. True regarding the relaxation granted to FPI, foreign portfolio investors at Gift City. Foreign portfolio investor at Gift City. Foreign portfolio investor at Gift City. क्या होगा correct answer guys? What will be your correct answer? FPI are allowed to trade commodity derivative on IFSC exchange without any additional documentation. Companies at Gift City are exempted from STT and CTT. True. Short-term capital gain tax on derivative trade has been increased. No, it is exempted. They are exempted. If you trade on IFSC regulated stock exchange as a FPI, you do not have to pay the your short-term capital gain, which is 30% in normal areas. ठीक है, normal market में आपका STT जो है वो 30% है. ठीक है, short-term capital gain, sorry, ठीक है, for the FPIs. But if you are trading on IFSC exchange, you do not have to pay that particular one. So 1 and 2 only. That means option A will be right answer for this. But why no one answer this particular question? ऐसा क्यों? ये तो बहुत आसान था यार, ये बनना चाहिए था. ठीक है.